I'm proud of the fight of our football team there coming out in the second half, getting the score tied 14-14. But at the end of the day, there in the fourth quarter, we had some plays there. We had too many negative plays from an offensive standpoint. And obviously we had a couple opportunities there at the end defensively to get off the field on third down. Weren't able to get that done. So credit Vanderbilt, obviously credit Coach Lee and, what he's doing with his program this year. But, obviously for us to be able to win a game like this, those moments and those situations just simply can't happen.
We'll open for questions. Kate Hampton, please.
Coach, you've talked about throughout this season, talking about the team's confidence. What do you think a game like this does for the team's confidence?
I think for sure sitting there at halftime, obviously the way we battled in the first half there, you could see the look in the eye. You could see the guys in the locker room knowing we could play with these guys. And when we play our best football like that, and we do us, the best brand of us, I think guys feel very confident in what we can do. But, at the end there and even at the closing remarks there with the guys in the locker room, when it was all said and done, I could still hear the vibe and the talk being the right way there. And, obviously it's tough because you work hard and you fight and you scratch. And we knew it was going to kind of be a street fight type of football game. And we fight and scratch. And then at the end, some critical moments there, we had some negative plays that hurt us, and then obviously this trying getting off the field there too. So it's really a matter of us more than anything else. And but I listen to those guys in there as soon as I finish with the prayer and remarks with the football team, and the attitude is where it needs to be.
I noticed kind of at the end of the third quarter there was a drive. Vanderbilt had to go into the red zone on the sideline. The whole team basically was jumping up and down, getting excited. What was it like to see them kind of bring that energy?
Yeah, that's important, man, because your teammates feed off that. So when they hear you bringing that type of energy on the sideline, and whether it's during the game today or during practice like that, and I was even appreciative of our fans in that corner. Right there when we were at that end of the field, they did a good job. Our players were asking for their support, and they did a great job playing their part that way. So I think that's really important because, we need everybody, and especially in those moments like that, when we're on the road, obviously we got to bring our own juice to make it tough on our opponent, as tough as we can.
Defense made 3 big stops. The Vanderbilt got it into the red zone 3 different times. All 3 times they had to settle for field goals. Do you think this is the best game your defense has played this season?
Yeah, and I think no question we're getting better every week against the run right now. We're still working hard to clean up some of the things from a passing game standpoint, but I think without question the way they battled for sure was the best 4 quarters in terms of battling that we had. Obviously, there's still things that we can clean up, and we still things that we need to get better at from a situational standpoint. When you're talking about holding those guys to field goal attempts, that was awesome, especially there the way the game started. It couldn't have started any better in terms of getting the opening kick, taking it down there, and then the defense doing a great job of stiffening up when they got in the red zone, holding them to a field goal. That was awesome.
Your quarterback kind of really, efficient, clean, good night. What was it like?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he does a good job of distributing the ball, and he does a good job in the passing game from a progression standpoint, making reads. Obviously, there's a couple things there. Naturally you're a competitor, and when the ball got tipped up in the air, the best play on that would be knock it down. And obviously, instead of it being a loss of yardage there, then we line up again, and it's still 2nd and 10 in that situation. So that's a learning moment there. But your instincts got to take over and just knock that thing to the ground. But he's going to give us a chance to win each and every week, and each week he just gains more experience and more knowledge, and gets a chance to see everything there is to see as a quarterback.
What goes into
obviously when you're facing an offense like that's triple option, but a little bit of unique style of triple option, it's not always the exact same style. When we played against Army back in 21, it's kind of the different style of triple option, if you will. So they do a great job. They have a phenomenal system going right now. Obviously, they did a great job again tonight, not turning the ball over. They don't beat themselves. They're a low penalized football team. They don't beat themselves. They're good in situational football. And, obviously he's one of those guys that's tough as nails. He plays the game like a state champion wrestler that he is from high school. And, you're going to get his best effort each and every week. And I think the way the football team plays is kind of that same mentality that he possesses.
Scored on that first drive in the first quarter and then first drive in the third quarter. How do you think the offense can emulate those 2 drives to complete a whole game?
Yeah, and really the thing that was frustrating, I think, more than anything else is, we would have some negative yardage plays that would get us behind schedule. So now it's second and long, which obviously you're trying to get half of it back to be able to get in a third and manageable situation. So those are the things that are tough. When you're getting some drives and you got some good things going, then there's a negative play. Whether it's a loss of yardage or if there's a penalty, those are the things that are tough. So we gotta do a great job of staying on schedule there and giving ourselves better opportunities there to convert on third downs. I look at that tonight, and we've been pretty solid from a third down standpoint, but tonight offensively we were 2 for 9 on third down, and that has to be better. But some of that was because of a self-inflicted wound or getting behind the chains on second down.
And I know you talked about talking to him at halftime. Kind of what were you telling that team in halftime?
Yeah, hopefully they realized at the first half of play, man, that, we can beat this football team. And that was my message at the hotel today, really all week long, man. Obviously, listen, there's a story of college football, but Nashville is a city of opportunity. And for us, there's a great opportunity to come in here and steal the story, if you will. And that was the message. And I think at halftime, every one of our guys in that locker room, without me even, but by the time I addressed the team, I could already sense that everybody in there believed that we could beat this team. That was a matter of us going out instead of having, the first drive of the game where it was positive offensively. And then we had some positive moments defensively. We had some great punts, great execution from a punt standpoint. Well, we got to put that all together. All three phases got to be clicking at the same time in order to be able to get a win like this on the road against an SEC opponent. So I could sense that. I already saw the look and could sense that the attitude was where it needed to be at halftime.
What makes a loss like this so difficult to, how does it sting almost? Well, there's so many positives, but obviously at the end of the day,
Because we were in position. You put yourself in position. This game's it's 14-14, at the end of in the third quarter right there. And so that's the part that stings more than anything else. Because when we had a chance to hold serve, if you will, and then we had a negative yardage situation that, on a couple consecutive drives there offensively, one on the batted pass that, Kadin ended up catching right there. And then, obviously we had another play there that, to be honest, it was a little bit of a trick play there with Kyle. And, all week long, he'd done a great job getting out of it versus pressure. And they certainly spun to the pressure look, and he did a good job all week long handling that in practice. But obviously in that situation, weren't able to get it done. But again, it's all right in front of us, and it's not always how you start, it's how you finish. And I know this team continues to believe in each other, and they got the right mentality where they're going to continue to fight and stick by each other's side.
We've already covered a lot of ground here, Coach, but you briefly mentioned Kyle Kelly there, and I wanted to ask you specifically about him. He was blown up there at the end of the game, but before that, he was really effective on a lot of various plays you were running for him. What did you see out of him?
Yeah, he did a great job. That touchdown run was a great job by him, and obviously another big run there in the second half where he where he stuck his foot in the ground and really hit the seam. And it's obviously every week we got a package where we're trying to do the best we can to get Kyle the ball, and he's an explosive guy, really talented in terms of running the ball. So we just got to keep attacking that. But certainly one of his more productive nights tonight for sure.
And then lastly, Coach, just heading back into MAC play after, you put together a disciplined game against an SEC team. What does this do for team belief?
Yeah, we got to get back to work, man. We're chomping at the bit. This will be a long bus ride back home, but, we'll get back to Muncie 5:30 in the morning. So it'll be, obviously make sure those guys will have a team meeting that's quick and give them the day to try to catch up on some rest tomorrow. But we'll be hard at work getting ourselves ready to go for Northern Illinois and be excited about, being able to get back into conference here for the remainder of the season.
Final question for Coach Neu.
I have one more. What was it like for Justin Bowick to make his season debut tonight?
Yeah, it was awesome to see him back out there. His journey's been, interesting, being out for 6 weeks. And so it was great to see him back out there again tonight, making some plays. That was awesome. He's worked so hard to get himself back. And, this is his first game for Ball State. And, he really did a lot of good things that way. And thought it was said a lot that he wanted to wear number 2 in honor of Ty Robinson. And so I think that says a lot. Certainly, ton of respect for him making that decision.
Joey, obviously not the result you guys wanted tonight, but Coach Neu just told us that this is probably his best game all season tonight. What does that kind of game do going forward for you guys' confidence?
It just gives it's a huge confidence boost. We had a great game plan going into it. Everybody executed their jobs at a very high level. Still got to clean up some mistakes. Obviously starts with me, of course. And we just, it just gives us confidence that we can do it. We can keep stacking weeks. We've been improving week by week. So we just got to, just keep going, get better.
How do you prepare for a quarterback?
Well, obviously, like we know what kind of offense they're going to try to run. He's a great athlete, great quarterback. We're just trying to contain him. Make sure that he wasn't trying to get the ball out of his hands as best we could, and just practice every single possible look that we could, and be ready for anything.
Yeah, does anybody remotely have questions?
Oh, yep, I can go. I wasn't sure if Cade was talking. That's my bad. We talked about improvements, and you talked about tackling a lot on Monday. Did you see improvement there today for sure?
I did, yes. There was multiple plays where, it was one-on-one open field. Guys were, maybe struggling to make those tackles early on in the season, and they got them down or, disrupted the pass, and it really, really helped us out, put us in a good spot to get off the field.
Is it kind of hard to have a sense of, a success and a loss?
It can be, but no, our team has the right attitude. Like I said before, it's a confidence booster. We win in that game, know what we can do, what we can show. And like I said, we can keep building off of that. Obviously it's a hard, gut-wrenching loss, but we got to look at the positives from it. And we can keep stacking days, keep stacking weeks.
Mike kind of talked about the same thing, just the hunger in this team. Do you really feel that around you?
I do. Yeah. You can see it on the sidelines too. Guys were, guys knew that we had it in us. We were there. We had it. The energy was up. I've never seen it like that before. And it was awesome to see. We just got to keep that up. Keep doing what we do.
What was that energy like? Obviously battling there late in the fourth quarter. Just what's that like playing on the field?
It's awesome. It's great. It's a great experience. Obviously, at an SEC stadium, we're on getting third downs, and we're doing what we're doing. It's a great feeling. I wish everybody could experience it. It was awesome on my end just to be out there and trying my best, helping the team get off the field and doing what we do.
Hey, Joey, I wanted to ask you sort of about your you put together several productive weeks, and this culminates in your best performance, and at the same time your defense is improving in tackling. What do you see there in terms of the dynamic of your improvement along with the improvement of the team defense?
Well, first off, it always starts up front with our D-line. They're doing their job. They're holding their gaps. They're doing what they're supposed to do, which makes my job a lot easier. I'm really just making plays that I'm supposed to be making. I'm just put myself in a good position. Everybody else is doing their job. So when everybody does what they're supposed to do, we can be a very successful defense. So I give credit to not me, but the whole entire 11 guys on defense. It obviously starts up front with them, and then the back half is doing their job. They're improving week by week, and we're just getting better.
And seeing what your defense can do against an SEC team, especially at certain times in this game, very productive. What does that tell you about what you can do as you're heading back into MAC play for the rest of the season?
It's just a big confidence booster. We've gotten better week by week. We keep harping that in practice. We can do it, and we just showed it tonight. Obviously, we didn't get the outcome that we wanted, but we have the confidence there. We just got to keep stacking. We got to make the little plays, keep fine tuning the little details, and we'll be in a very, very good spot.
You've talked about how much the defense has improved. Have you noticed a difference comparing maybe week one playing with the defense to even this week?
Yes, I have. Communication's gotten a lot better. Everybody's trusting each other a lot more. And honestly, we're just having a lot more fun. Everybody's just flying around doing their job, like I said before. And it's a whole group effort, and we're all just doing our thing.
For Kadin?
Yeah, Kate, Coach and Joey have just talked to us about the confidence the team gained from this game. What do you think is the biggest boost to the confidence going forward?
We took a lot of steps forward today. It's unfortunate we didn't get the result we wanted at the end of the game, but we stepped up in a lot of different ways. Defense made a lot of stops, made a lot of plays out there. Offensively, we made plays, but there's spots where we got to be better, and we could have helped the team win the game. But I think for sure we took a lot of steps forward.
That first drive, you came out, went 6 for 6, marched it all the way downfield, 75 yards, took 7 minutes off the clock. Was that like a scripted sort of drive? Like you had those first couple plays planned out and it just really worked out well? Or was that just, you just needed to sell right away?
I mean, it was just great play calls off the bat. O-line did their job, receivers made catches, and we were in tune early. So for sure, got to find a way to continue to do that as the game goes on and not take steps backwards, but positives for sure.
Obviously, a really tough loss last week, losing Ty Robinson for the season. But what's it like to get Justin Bowick back into the receiving corps this week?
It's great. I mean, that guy's dynamic, makes a lot of plays. I know what he can do. I know he hasn't played a bunch yet, but I'm excited to see how the rest of his career goes for sure.
What's it like to see him change his number to number 2 to honor his teammate Ty?
I thought it was pretty cool. That's just not much more to say. I thought it was pretty cool.
What's it like having a sense of success, even though it's a loss?
Like I said earlier, I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to win, and we didn't get that done today. But like I was telling him a minute ago, a lot of steps forward. There is positives to take from this, but we're not walking away feeling like we won, because we lost the game. At the end of the day, we're a handful of plays from being 5-2, and we're sitting here at 2-5. There's stuff we got to go back and figure out, and we got to go undefeated the rest of the way.
Scored on the first drive in the first and then first drive in the third quarter. What do you think is the difference in those other drives that just weren't able to come up with any points?
Just, shooting ourselves in the foot, simple miscommunications, not getting lined up right, or, not being on the same page as my guys. We got to make sure that, when we're out there on game days on Saturdays, that we're firing on all cylinders and we don't have those mistakes that hurt ourselves, because when we play a team like that, we can't afford it or else we're going to lose like we did today.
I guess, what are some of those improvements that you'd like to see communication wise move forward?
Just being on the same page. There's no excuse for why we're not at this point in the season. I mean, we got a lot of moving parts, guys playing different places, but at the end of the day, we're professionals and we got to take care of what we got to take care of.
And Kadin, I wanted to ask you, how are you able to maintain such poise across these games? It doesn't seem to matter if it's against an SEC opponent like Vanderbilt or against a MAC opponent. You always seem to be extremely confident out there. What would you say is the source of that?
I've been blessed for my ability. That's for sure. That's first. I'm thankful for that. But a lot of preparation goes on, behind the scenes that nobody really sees. And I put so much time and effort into, what you guys see on the weekends that it's only right that I go out there confident and cool and collected.
Mike talked about how there's a lot of hunger left in this team. What does that mean to you that the group of guys around the whole program are just ready no matter what?
Like I said, we're so close, and like you just said, I want to be around a group of guys that just wants to go win, wants to go figure it out, wants to fix it, wants to figure out what that final step is for us to, take care of the rest of the season. So I'm excited for it.
I guess, how much energy does that bring to everybody?
Are you saying just like today's game?
No, just the energy in the program that, no matter the result next week, you're going just as hard as you possibly can.
I mean, it's all part of the journey. I mean, we've got knocked down a bunch of times, and like I was saying, I want to be around a bunch of guys who are going to keep getting up one more time. And I think we got a group of guys that believes that's going to live by that, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes.
Anything more for Kadin?
Yeah, coach talked to us about, he said that this is basically the best game that the defense has played all season. What has it been like to see that unit develop over the course of the year?
It was awesome. I mean, they played great today, and there was a lot of times offensively where we got to play better, to play more better complementary football. Excuse me. We've been doing well on offense most of the season. I feel like tonight we didn't play it like we could have played, and didn't set ourselves up to be successful at the end of the day. It's unfortunate, but like you were saying earlier, positive defense played great, so we got to help them out more.
What do you think is the biggest lesson that you guys learned tonight that you want to take forward in these last 5 MAC games?
We can play with anybody. Every game we've played in, there's not an opponent out there that we know that we can't play with. Like I was saying earlier, we're a handful of plays away. It's ridiculous from being 5-2. But we're not. Reality's reality. But whenever we step on a field, we know we can play with anybody.